Hi everyone. This is the first in a line of videos that I'm hoping will begin a conversation. I'm going to see if I can get this to fit on one complete video. If not, you'll notice because it'll say whatever the video is, one of two. Way back when, and I'm going to shut this light off, see if that makes a difference. Way back when, a couple of years ago, I had said that the economy would finally level off to a zero around 2017. 2017, of course, is coming around very shortly in about 4 weeks and will continue through. The issue here is that the reason why I said that was I was not sure if what would transpire. I had a few ideas, and in the last 2 years, I've kind of got a much more crystallized idea. Now, these are my opinions, of course, but they're based on a lot of the stuff that I'm going to probably put in the box there as a hyperlink for a number of different ideas in regards to economy. Before I begin, I first have to explain to you that economics, as if you haven't figured it out, is a philosophy. And the one economic philosophy that we all know very well, if you've ever tried to study it, is Adam Smith's Wealth of Nations. It is basically capitalism's Bible, the gospel according to Adam Smith. The funny thing about Adam Smith's concepts in Wealth of Nations was based on what he was observing in the infancy of what would become the Industrial Revolution. Due to the Enlightenment, people were starting to create a mass production as we understand it today, which followed by a middle class and into a consumer economy. Ultimately, what Adam Smith was doing was observing what had happened in a major shift in an epoch starting from way back in the Bronze Age when we discovered how to make bronze and copper to the age in which he was in, which was in the late 17th, early 18th centuries. What is happening today is another seismic shift. The difference is that instead of hundreds of years of that change of economies, it's taking a matter of decades or less. What I'm speaking about is what a lot of people call a nanotech explosion. A gentleman named Dr. Ray Kurzweil refers to as a singularity. The point in which devices like this are exponentially getting smaller and smaller, getting faster and faster in intelligence, to the point where there will be a point, probably around 2030 or so, maybe even sooner, where technology and humanity will become one. That's where the concept of the singularity is. But I don't want to get into that right now. What I do want to get into is the concept that what is happening right now. In the last 6 to 9 months, actually for the last 7 years, for the first 5 or 6 years, container business had slowly dropped. Most of it was complained, or most of it was told that it was part of the Great Recession of 2008 to 2010, which is true. And that sort of leveled off. But about 6 months ago, it literally fell off the plank. It completely bottomed out, even to the surprise of so many people who believe in globalism. The issue here is not that globalism is dying, but is being replaced by something else. That thing is what I refer to, and this is me talking here, as a non-scarcity model. We are at a point right now where consumer goods are being produced at a slower and slower rate, and those consumer goods, such as TVs and whatever, are not being produced by people any longer. They're being produced by robotics and other technologies that do not need human interaction, computer programs and so forth. With the advent of nanotechnology and 3D printers, we're now reaching the next stage, which would have taken probably 50 years, 100 years ago, is now taking 5 years. 3D printers are going to allow us to make things like clothing, glasses, and so forth, not by us waiting for a manufacturer to give it to a jobber to make, and then the jobber to give it to the wholesaler giving it to the retailer, and the retailer selling it to the consumer. What will occur, and this is my conjecture based on all these things that I'm going to list down here, is we're going to get to the point where 3D printers are going to become cheaper and much more detailed, which is happening right now with nanotechnology, where no longer the manufacturer will be someplace in another country or another state, but that the producer of a shirt, for example, will be a programmer who will program and create the 3D software to your printer to make this exact shirt or in a number of different colors. And so you will no longer be purchasing the shirt, you will be purchasing the software. Just as I purchased this software that I'm using for a video to make this video right now. There's no, the camera's not on there, whatever. So the software itself, like in this case, will create the shirt that you want, or the pants, or the glasses, or the Coach bag, or whatever it is. So that's going to eliminate manufacturing. That's also going to cut at the fundamentals of what it is to have a capitalist, quote unquote, industrial model. What will happen after that, which is happening now into probably about 2020, is going to be a major shift in how we train people and what we're going to do as a people post-industrial, post-manufacturing, post-consumer society. I've put a video here, or I will put a video here, that is an interview with the IMF. And let's just shift the conspiracy theories to the side for 1 second. This IMF discussion has Ray Kurzweil and a number of other people in it, and they talk openly about how they've already discussed and thought about how this mega shift's going to happen, to the point where they're seeing people who are going to be so displaced so quickly that they will be put on a dole of some sort temporarily as they get educated to do certain things like this. Now, I'm not saying that homegrown cottage industries like furniture making, vegetable gardening, tanning, and all these other things are going to disappear. These things are going to be relegated to a subset of cottage industry. But on a macro level, on a large scale level, we will see a mega shift where our children and our children's children, which is not too far away, that's 20 years, are going to purchase and get things that they need for free in some cases. Downloading software and on the internet is free, or getting something that they pay for that's a little bit higher quality. The truth of the matter is that everyone will have the things they need as long as they have a printer and so forth. And this end of scarcity, as I refer to it, is going to mega shift what we are and who we are as a society. Now, I will go into more detail once I interact with my cohorts here, and I'm calling out Goat Hollow, Doug, and I'm calling out even you folks who are watching this video. My point here is, instead of me reporting, massive disasters coming down, we've already gone through this. This is going to be the last great recession, which is going to be part of what we understand as industrial depressions and recessions. We're going to lean and go towards a paperless and moneyless society. This is a reality. We're going to have to live with that. And what is that going to look like? Is everybody going to be happy and we're all going to live in a Star Trek universe? Somewhat. But the beginning parts right now, between 2017 and I would dare say 2025, there's going to be a lot of displaced workers, and there's going to be a lot of displaced people as they try to rethink how they are to exist as humanity in this world. Now, I want to be able to dig deeper into that with you as a discussion point and talk about the economics. Because what we're seeing right now, ladies and gentlemen, is not a surprise to the Russian government, not a surprise to the Chinese government, not a surprise to the IMF. That's why I have that 2-hour video attached here. That IMF video, by the way, is 2 hours long. Skip to the to 4 minutes and 30 seconds, because the first 4 minutes and 29 seconds is just boring as hell. But I would suggest you watch it, and watch it carefully, because what they're talking about, they've seen this coming down the pike around 2001, 2005, and they see it coming to fruition now. The goal here is not to dig, a spider hole and grab some hand grenades, some guns, and some MREs. You could do that. That's your option. But what I'm suggesting is that we look at this critically and see what this future holds and how we are to move forward as an intellectual elite, quote unquote. Folks who are watching this video and are thinking, okay, so I'm not going to have my office job like I had before. What is that economic model going to look like? And in fact, I will make a video on the gig economy, and I will make a video on some other stuff as my friends here who are watching the videos and yourselves here as well discusses this. This is more or less an introduction to what I would like to talk to you about and what I would like to really discuss. Now, all this stuff is already baked into the cake. It doesn't matter who's going into the White House. It doesn't matter what their attitudes are, whether you're a conservative or a liberal or a Democrat or Republican or an independent or anything else in between. The point of the matter of fact here is that we are living at a time where the industrial model will no longer exist as we understand it today. There will be no direct monetary benefit for us. And that quantum shift is going to change how we see ourselves, our raison d'etre, our reason for being. Will we become philosophers? Will we become scientists? Will we, in reaction to it, become Luddites and start to grow our own food and make our own clothes and sell those items like pre-made furniture that's made from wood and even grow vegetables and so forth for sales, because there will be a market for that. So everybody's going to benefit one way or another out of necessity or out of, something that's considered unique and out of the ordinary, like the Amish, for example. But the thing is that we have to have this conversation, because if we hide our heads in the sand and we allow this thing to roll over us like a tank, the only people that are going to be harmed here are those people who ignore it. If we see it, we anticipate it, and we adjust to it, we'll become the most successful, not just for ourselves, but for our families and for the generations coming forward. This is going to be a shift like no other. And you need to be able to understand that and have a conversation about it. Not react by putting a tinfoil hat on your head or digging a spider hole. We need to be grown-ups here, and we need to be realistic about planning what we're going to do. So, this is the end of this video. Please comment, and guys, and even you folks, if you'd like to make a video to respond to this video, I will respond to it as long as it's reasonable and it is not lewd or lascivious. So, until next time, peace.